The bridge that locals refuse to cross after sunset. The sirens cut through the cold Virginia night like jagged glass. Deputy Liam Carter gripped the steering wheel, his cruiser fishtailing slightly as he turned onto the Old River Road. The call had come in 10 minutes earlier, a missing teenager last spotted near Blackwater Bridge. Locals said the place was cursed. Outsiders said it was superstition. Liam said he didn't believe in either one, but as he approached the rusted steel frame rising over the dark water, he felt something tighten in his chest. His headlights washed over the bridge's entrance. There, abandoned in the middle of the road, lay a bicycle, its front wheel still spinning lazily. Liam slammed the brakes and jumped out. "Tyler," he shouted into the night. His voice echoed across the rafters, swallowed by the river's slow, steady rush beneath the planks. A damp fog rolled along the surface, creeping between the beams like pale fingers. Liam approached the bike carefully, his boots clanking on the metal. Something glinted at the edge of his light. The boy's phone. Screen cracked. Still recording. He picked it up, pressed play. Static, footsteps, heavy breathing, then Tyler's terrified whisper. "I'm not alone on the bridge." Liam froze. He rewound it. "I'm not alone on the bridge." That was enough. He radioed dispatch, calling for backup and a search team. But he didn't wait. He moved forward, scanning for movement. The bridge seemed endless in the darkness, stretching like a ribcage over the water. Halfway across, he saw another glint, a small chain caught between the planks. A necklace. Tyler's mother had described it earlier, silver with a tiny letter T. Liam crouched, reaching for it. That's when he saw it. A handprint on the railing. Not bloody, but smeared with something dark and sticky, like river mud mixed with oil. And it was fresh. As if someone had gripped it hard. As if someone had been dragged. He followed the smear to the far side of the bridge, where it abruptly ended. No footprints. No drag marks. Just the railing and the black water below. Backup arrived 20 minutes later, and the search began. They combed the shoreline, dragged parts of the river, interviewed passing drivers. Nothing. By sunrise, Tyler had vanished without a trace. And by noon, reporters from Richmond were already on their way. 3 days later, investigative journalist Maya Eston pulled into the small town of Blackwater Ridge with her camera operator, Jonah Reed. She had covered cold cases before, but something about this one felt different. When they interviewed townspeople, they all said the same thing. "We don't cross that bridge after dark. We've told the sheriff to close it. It was supposed to be sealed years ago." When Maya pressed for reasons, they shut down. One woman simply said, "Ask the police. Ask what they found the first time." Maya frowned. The first time? But the woman had already closed the door. That afternoon, Maya met with Sheriff Dale Whitford. He was polite but guarded, his fingers drumming on an old case file when talk turned to the bridge. "You want my professional opinion?" he said. "Tyler probably slipped, fell in the river, and was carried downstream. That's the most likely scenario." "Is that what happened the last time?" Maya asked. Whitford's eyes flicked up. "What do you mean, the last time?" Maya placed a faded newspaper clipping on his desk. 27 years old. Local boy missing after accident on Blackwater Bridge. Search suspended. Whitford stiffened. "That case was before my time. But not before the department's." Whitford closed the file and stood. "The official statement is that Tyler fell. Nothing more. Nothing less." "And the unofficial one?" Maya asked. Whitford didn't answer. He simply walked to the office door and opened it. "Stay away from that bridge at night." Jonah and Maya drove to Blackwater Bridge just before sunset. The metal beams creaked as the wind passed through them. Birds gathered along the rafters, restless. "Creepy as hell," Jonah muttered, adjusting his camera. Maya stepped carefully onto the planks. If a story scares the locals this much, it's worth finding out why. They found the spot where Tyler's bike had been. The necklace, the handprint, all marked with small yellow police tags. But something else caught Maya's attention, a gap in the railing far smaller than she expected for an accident. "This isn't a place you just fall from," she whispered. Jonah zoomed in on the gap. "It looks like someone squeezed through." Maya turned, scanning the beams. Rusted bolts. Cracked supports. A ladder leading downward between the bridge's girders. The hatch at the bottom was locked with a heavy chain. "What the hell?" she muttered. "Why would there be a hatch under a rural bridge?" Jonah answered without lowering the camera. "Maybe it wasn't always just a bridge." Maya paused. Her recorder picked up something, a faint metallic click. Then another, echoing beneath them, like someone unlocking something underground. She leaned over the railing. "Jonah," she said quietly, "there's something under the bridge." Jonah focused his lens. His breath caught. A faint light was glowing through the cracks in the metal hatch, pulsing, slow and steady. Maya grabbed the railing. "We have to get down there. Now." They heard a noise, footsteps. Not theirs. Coming from the far side of the bridge. Slow, heavy, intentional. Jonah whispered, "We're not alone." Maya's pulse quickened. The footsteps stopped. Then a voice they didn't recognize said, "Turn off your camera. Whatever you're looking for, you don't want to find it." Maya turned, but the bridge was empty. Completely still. Jonah whispered, "Where did the voice come from?" Maya swallowed hard. "It came from under us." She looked back at the glowing hatch. The pulsing light grew brighter. "Jonah," she said, stepping toward the ladder, "we're going down." The wind shifted. The beams creaked. And from deep below the bridge, something moved. The wind cut straight through the beams as Maya gripped the ladder, fingers sweating despite the cold. Beneath the bridge, the river's rush sounded louder, deeper, like something was breathing under the planks. Jonah leaned over the side, camera braced. "You sure about this?" "No," Maya said. "But we're doing it anyway." She started down. Each rung rattled under her weight. The glow from the hatch below pulsed faintly between the iron crossbeams, a sickly yellow-white seeping through cracks in the metal. It didn't look electrical. It looked wrong. Halfway down, something shifted in the dark. A hollow clank, like a chain being moved. Maya froze. "Hello." No answer. The next sound came from above. Tires on gravel, a car door slamming, boots on asphalt. "Maya Eston," a voice bellowed. "Get away from that ladder. Now." "Sheriff Whitford." She exhaled sharply and climbed back up. When her head cleared the side of the bridge, his flashlight beam hit her straight in the eyes. "You lost your mind?" he snapped. "You want to join the list of people the river's taken?" Jonah stepped back, camera still rolling. "We heard something under there. There's a hatch. A light." Whitford's jaw clenched. "There's nothing for you under this bridge except a lawsuit and a body bag. Step away." Maya met his stare. "You told me Tyler fell. But there's a locked access panel under this bridge, a ladder no one mentions, and the town's been terrified of this place since before he was born. Why?" Whitford's flashlight flicked toward the ladder, lingered on the hatch below, then snapped back to her face. "You're not from here. You don't understand what this place has already taken. Some scars don't need reopening. Or some secrets don't need exposing?" Maya said quietly. For a moment, his expression slipped, something like exhaustion cracking through anger. Then it was gone. "You've got your interviews. You've disturbed enough people. You stay off my bridge at night. That's not a request." He turned, marched back to his cruiser, and drove off without a goodbye. The light from the hatch below flickered once, like it was reacting to the engine's retreat. Then it went dead. Jonah lowered the camera. "That guy is hiding something." Maya stared into the darkness below. "No, he's protecting something. The question is whether it's the town or himself." The next morning, Maya and Jonah were waiting when the county records office opened. The clerk, an older woman with thin glasses and a thicker accent, barely looked up as Maya slid a request across the counter. Any and all documents relating to Blackwater Bridge, any major incidents there, and specifically the disappearance of a minor, male, 27 years ago. The clerk scanned the paper, sighed, and tapped at her keyboard. "Anything that old is probably boxed, off-site, or missing. These things get lost." "Maybe," Maya said, "but missing in this town seems to mean something different." The clerk frowned, opened her mouth, then glanced toward the hallway. A figure stood there, half in shadow. Deputy Liam Carter. He stepped forward. "I'll take it from here, Ms. Adler," he said. "Sheriff's orders. I'll see what we've got." The clerk shrugged and slid the request to him. Minutes later, Liam led Maya and Jonah down a narrow hallway to a storage room that smelled like paper and dust. Rows of metal shelves leaned under the weight of cardboard boxes. He shut the door behind them. "Officially," he said, "we don't have anything for you." Jonah raised an eyebrow. "And unofficially?" Liam's gaze dropped to a box on the lower shelf. The label was written in faded black marker. Blackwater Bridge, 1996/archive. He pulled it out, set it on the table, and opened it. "I shouldn't be letting you see this. But I was there the night Tyler went missing. I found his bike. I listened to his mother cry on my uniform. If there's something in here that explains why this keeps happening, someone has to look at it." Inside the box were manila folders, water-stained and fragile. Crime scene reports. Handwritten notes. A few photographs in plastic sleeves. Maya slipped on gloves and opened the first file. Victim, male, 17. Last seen on or near Blackwater Bridge. Presumed drowned. Body recovered downstream 3 days later. She flipped to the next. Second victim. Different year. Late night dare on the bridge. Same conclusion. Fell. Drowned. Jonah frowned. "Why didn't anyone mention multiple cases?" "Because," Liam said quietly, "it was easier to call it stupid teenage behavior than to admit we didn't know why the same place kept swallowing kids." Maya pulled out one of the photographs. It showed the underside of the bridge in harsh flash. The beams, the river, the rough cement pillars. And in the corner, barely visible, a metal hatch, half open, light spilling out. She flipped the photo over. Someone had written a note on the back. Secondary structure present. Accessed before arrival. Unknown occupants. Her pulse quickened. Accessed before arrival. Liam nodded grimly. When the first officers got down there, the hatch was open, lights still on. Whoever had been inside was gone. Maya dug deeper. Another photo, this one of muddy ground under the bridge. No bodies, no gore, just white evidence markers around disturbed earth. The caption read, "Signs of temporary containment. Rope fibers. Tape residue." Jonah exhaled slowly. So this wasn't just people falling. Someone was using the space under the bridge. For what? Maya scanned another report. A supplemental memo from a state investigator. Strong suggestion Blackwater Bridge used as off-the-record holding area prior to transport. Possible connection to interstate trafficking of stolen goods and individuals. Recommended shutting down structural access and sealing records to avoid public panic. The last line was underlined twice. Public explanation to remain accidental drownings. She looked up. They found evidence that someone was holding people under this bridge. And they buried it. Liam's jaw tightened. By the time I joined the force, the story was just, "Don't cross the bridge after dark." Maya flipped to the final document. A photocopy of a memo on department letterhead, dated 27 years earlier. Effective immediately, access points beneath Blackwater Bridge are to be welded or chained. No unauthorized entry. All inquiries regarding prior incidents to be forwarded to Sheriff's Office. Signed, Sheriff Harold Whitford. Jonah blinked. Whitford. Same last name. "He's Harold's son," Liam said quietly. "Dale took over 15 years ago. The bridge has been a family problem longer than I've been alive." Maya stared at the signature, at the looping W, the careful H. "Your sheriff's father found something under that bridge he didn't want the world to see," she said. "And now people are still going missing in the same place." She reached for the bottom of the box. One last item rested there. A cassette tape in a plastic sleeve, labeled in shaky handwriting. Audio, witness, 1996. Local minor. Interview under seal. Liam swallowed. "We don't have anything to play that on here." Maya smiled faintly. "I do." That night, back at the motel, the old tape played through a modern adapter, the sound low and warbling but clear enough. A young voice came through, a boy, maybe 12 or 13, trying to sound brave. I was walking by the river, near the bridge. I heard voices underneath. Not in the water, inside it. Like there was a room down there. Someone was crying. Someone else said, "The bridge takes what the town can't."